Student Branch and IEEE PES YP Student Branch Chapter. This Congress focuses on offering a venue for all student branches to come together, share their thoughts, idea, best practice, learn from one another, and improve the overall operation of careers. It also gives students to chance interact with the people from different other institutes who share their common interest in order to achieve the objective goal of their career development. In our conference, we learn about young professional involvement in local community through the humanitarian technology, leadership and technical advancement, ignorance toward the HGC, how to align your career, and we also learn about professional engineering ethics, pathway for academic careers, how to organize in an event, and abstract writing for main research paper, upskilling opportunity in IEEE PES YP. Also, we have arranged two workshops on career in engineering device and another one modeling simulation of electrical system using MATLAB simulating. So there will be so much to learn, networking opportunity, and a completely new amazing experience. We are waiting for our valuable speaker. Therefore, I have not taken a long time. Samuel Fatta sir is available here.
Yes, yeah, he is available.
Okay. Let's welcome everyone. At first, I request to deliver the lecture to IEEE PES YP Chair and also IEEE NUS Editor, Professor Dr. Sheikh Fatta sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's a very great opportunity for me to meet with you all, and especially young professionals. This is a very important role, especially in IEEE. So I was invited to share some experience or some issues related to humanitarian perspective, how young professionals they can contribute in this particular space, what are the challenges. So let me share my screen. So I hope my screen is visible. So just
Yes, sir.
yes, thank you. So yes, the young professionals involvement in local community through humanitarian technology. So there is no doubt, if you see the local community, who are the most, I should say, most prominent persons in the local community. I mean, community wants the help from home. You see, one group is, I mean, who are children and then school, college going boys, they're fine. They are living a structured life. And the other, they are, I mean, the elderly people in the society, they have their own responsibilities, families. But the young professionals, the mid-aged people, they are, whenever there is any crisis in the community, they are the, I should say, they are the guys who first immediately respond to that problem. That's why young professionals, by definition, they have a lot of responsibilities to serve the local community. And now what we are trying to tell, that it's not only serving a community by doing some a charity job. So you can use your technology here. So that's our important, because we are engineer or going to be an engineer, or engineering field we are serving. So yes, this is a brief involvement in IEEE. So for PES, currently I'm the chair of PES HSC, and from 2023 I'll be representing PES in IEEE Smart Village. That's a very great platform where you all know IEEE Smart Village. And also from 2023 in region 10, they are they are managing ad hoc for climate change. So I will be chairing that ad hoc for climate change in region 10. So apart from that, IEEE SSIT, Society for Dealing with Social Implications. So I am sharing their chapters. All they have around 40 chapters. So I am the chair of their that governing body. And these are I served IEEE Humanitarian Activity Committee for that's the maximum period, 3 years. I chaired as an education chair there, so I gained a lot of experience there. So let's come focus to our main goal here. So young professional and humanitarian technology, young professional and humanitarian technology. So humanitarian technology, if you try to understand, it's not the humanitarian activity only. So we are here concerned with young professionals, IEEE in young professionals. They have some technological background. So you bring that technology to your community to solve the community problem. So we have to understand now we call the fourth industrial revolution. In one word, if somebody asks me, what's the basic change you want to see with the fourth IR, I say that yes, 4IR gives connectivity. Connectivity to each machine, connectivity to human and machine. So in that case, we have to equip, we have to know the technology. So that's why if you want to do humanitarian work or humanitarian space, you want to contribute, technology should be there. So that's why this humanitarian technology, the word, you can see some common pictures. So these pictures say a lot, because here you can see the community can be in a village where you can see biofuels they are producing. They are using pumps, water pumps, solar pumps, wind energy they are using, fine. So you have, if our young generations, young professionals, they can make themselves a skilled person to install these facilities, to maintain these facilities, their community will be very much helpful. And the right side, it's not a fancy one. Here also you can see the smart building. Now, energy saving is a big issue. So you are thinking about the renewables. That is also, that is there a solution. Another important thing, if you can manage your energy usage smartly, so that can also give you a lot of savings overall energy. So here I can show you some small examples, but you see they are alternate source of energy. So young generations, they can think, okay, they can make the whole footpath. They can use that. I have seen now all the walkway, the footpath. So on top, they are giving a shade of solar power panel. So these solar panels can be used during the daytime. They can be used to serve for battery or mobile charging something. So these alternative energies, these are very essential in future, just to avoid fossil fuels. As I was talking about IEEE Smart Village, they are bringing this facility to remote locations. But the thing what I will be telling next, it's not a charity. So you have to think about some sustainable model. So you bring a new initiative, you bring the technology to a community, but you have to remember how that will be sustainable. So they the smart village, they adopt entrepreneurship. So they will initiate the work, launch the work, they will build capacity, so capacity building, then the community they have to run. So here the young professional can play a role, because if they are themselves very skillful, so they can train the local community. So that's a big and important thing to serve the community. You can reskill them, you can build the capacity among the community. So I want to quote this important thing: engaging local youths in humanitarian response is not a matter of if, but how. So it's not, there is no question if they will engage, what will happen. We don't need to discuss. It's more important how you will engage your young professional in your community. So there, I referred the paper, you can read that. So they have shown the Ebola response in Sierra Leone, where young professionals, they showed a tremendous responsibility. So, but we need to think about a sustainable manner, how we can engage them. Because in what ways local young professional can be engaged in humanitarian technology? Because some NGOs are already working. So how our young professionals can be there? Now in PES, the question is, whatever projects there are going on, we want our members to be involved there. If PES giving any money, so we want that money must be used by our PES members, because we want our members to give some return. So that's the place. So whatever projects will be providing, PES Humanitarian Activity Committee, our objective is to, this year we will be providing again $20,000 funding starting from January for different projects. It could be $500, $2,000 projects. So you just check the call for projects. So we can fund you, but you have to make sure that in your project, PES members engaged. So it could be young professionals and students also. So we need a strategy, meaningful strategy to engage our young professionals. So whenever you are trying to initiate a project in your community, so first you have to understand, so what's your objective? Then to whom actually you want to serve? Who is your community? You have to understand the community. If you are just going, a community which you don't know their different mannerism, their culture, their community habits, then you will never be successful. So you have to understand the community, and then a proper project planning. So in PES Humanitarian Activity Committee, we try to launch different workshop training where basically you can have an experience how you will manage a project. What's the social implications? Yes, our target is to achieve sustainable development goals. There are 17. So we basically interact with people, and from the people, we are targeting to use all the planet, the facilities that you have to use it. But at the end of the day, we have to have a measurable benefit that we call profit. It's not only the monetary things, a measurable benefit we need. So I'm not describing all these things. I recently in IEEE 10 conference, we had a session like that, so where I discussed a lot. So the video may be there. It was so basically for involving in a humanitarian technology project, you need to understand who is your community, and from the very beginning, the community members should be engaged in your project. They have to understand, they have to feel that the project is for them. It's not enough. They have to feel that they are a part of the project. That means in implementation, you have to ensure that their participation is very actively ensured. In that case, you have to maintain the transparency, trust. So every actions you have to explain properly. So sustain engagement if you give to the community. Time to time, if you talk with them, if they feel that every information what you are doing is accessible, they can mix with you, engage with the work. So you have to ask questions. Their feedback is very important. Then what will happen? Even if you fail at stage, the community will understand the reality. So we have to, this is called stakeholder mapping. Some people, they are very much involved. Some are less involved. So you have to manage all them. Sometimes very closely you have to monitor them. So these are the participatory projects. So we have to ensure that all the members are engaged in at least in some points. So we also have to gather what is already implemented. So we don't have to repeat them. Sometimes whenever we want to serve a community, we think that community is a burden. No, sometimes they have some skill. So we have to target our projects in such a way that their skill can be utilized. So we call it system thinking approach. That means we have to take a long-term vision, not only just for 1 year, because it's not a profit by money. You engage yourself and do a project. So if you just look in this way, I mean, $1,000 you involve and you earn 1,200, so $200 is profit. Or $1,000 you involve and maybe $200 you just lost, so it's a $200 loss. No, it's not only that. You have to understand the social impact on the community. So that's why you have to think about the long-term solutions. So you can see the picture, young professionals. They are the young boys and girls from Georgia Tech. They have this type of projects regularly they're doing for the community. So this has to be scalable. So you can, this is in India, so that's a different projects. So phase by phase, you can implement. But we don't have to always choose the very fancy or advanced technology. We have to understand the technology should be sustainable. Someone has to continue. So if something is wrong, they have to manage it. The most important and the last thing is, whenever we are doing something for the community, it's not like the dollar value that I say $200 is the profit. No, not like that. So it's all about financial aspect is there, I understand, but what's the social impact you are creating? So that's very important. You are investing money, time, hours. And if you just see the money invested and the money which you are getting back, that's called financial. We have to think about the effect in their quality of life. So their intellectual property. So if we can do, if we can think, if we can add this in your project, then you'll get social return on investment. So this is an example. So you can do that. So you can bring some fancy things like the school bus in this case, it will not work. So the road structure and the fuel cost will never let you allow this type of fancy school bus. The solution could be like this. Who will do this? So young people, they have to come up in this mind and they can serve the community by some inventing these things. So these are some of my different projects. So I will not be explaining all of them. So the conclusion is that, so young professionals, they have the power, they have the agility, so they can serve the community best. So if you think about serving the community, don't just think that this is just a charity. You can think about social entrepreneurship. Sometimes I give a talk on that. So should be some financial return to sustain a project, as well as there should be some social return. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful session. Uh, now, if anyone have questions, can write down your question at chat, and sir will be taking this question as we have many speakers. So we can't, for time limitation, we can't have a question answer session directly. So please write down your question in chat. Okay, the next talk of today's session is navigating a rising tide, leadership and technical advancement, which will be facilitated by Dr. Kathleen Kramer, distinguished lecturer, IEEE Aerospace and Electronic Systems Society, and professor of electrical engineering, University of San Diego. This talk is to educate us about leadership and technical aspects and hopefully help us in leadership and technical advancement. Ma'am, the floor is yours now.
Great, thank you for inviting me. I put a little timer at the side that I can see, so I'm trying to make sure that I don't run over my time. I know you have several speakers today. And this is one of those talks, I think that you could talk for 10 minutes or you could talk for an hour. And so I'll have a little bit of personal intro. I'll talk about my philosophy on career development and the need to embrace the technical, and some leadership lessons. And I have a slides that I'm not going to show you, but I have them hidden away on academic career development. So if you write to me, I will send them to you. And I have a link to a talk that I gave at a panel in August. And then I'll put some women in engineering items in there if I have any time left, because this originally, this whole talk, the navigating, is because it was a women in engineering theme, and then the career development goes with that. So everyone has a story about how they came to be where they are professionally. And for me, now when I meet some friends from the past, like, well, Kathleen, you were so determined to be in industry. And then what happened? Like, why are you at a university? And so here we have, so here's my one slide about me. And so when I happen to be teaching, I just finished teaching, I guess, last week, a class, Engineering 101, which is for first-year university students. And I have them do a slide, one slide of themselves when they come in as an introduction to how you present. And so here's my one slide that I updated last night. And so just to get you interested, so here's the fun facts on the side. So as of last night, I had 112,281 unread emails in my inbox. And so you are very welcome to email me, but do not be surprised if you don't get a reply, because I have 112,281 waiting ahead of you. Another fun fact is I was once a contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So I challenge you to find out how much money I won. And I am not skilled. I do have my husband, I have 3 children, but I'm not very skilled domestically. And so that piece of a Christmas card that you see, that is my entire domestic projects for the year, and I make everybody wear matching outfits, and I do that every year. And I'm very known in IEEE for my 3 rules, but nobody can remember the first 2 rules. They always remember the 3rd rule, which is don't be boring. And I was just on a magazine. I was honored to be on the cover of a magazine, and the headline about me was leading through empowerment. And so I would say that's my leadership tagline, is leading through empowerment. And my first leadership goal has always been creating the next generation of leadership for IEEE. And so that's one of the reasons that I'm excited to be part of this event. And I'm an officer in Aerospace and Electronic Systems Society, but like our past speaker, I belong to many societies. And I also am a PES and a YP member. And I'll just move on from this one. All right, so I am a distinguished lecturer for Aerospace and Electronic Systems Society, and one of my lecture topics is on navigation. And so when I was asked originally to do a career development talk, I related it to navigation. And it is about navigating yourself. And the rising tide is because as we bring ourselves up, it is a rising tide, and we can bring up other people with us, and they will bring us up with them. And so I relate that, if you think about it in one, maybe by 15-second version of the history of navigation, is that you have visual cues about where you are, and started by seeing the sun and the stars. And then we proceed to the invisible sources of information about where we are, that IEEE was born to lead. And we learn to rely on speed and time and beacons, and eventually radar, where we actively seek to know where we are, and proceeding to inertial navigation and GPS. You can also navigate your way professionally, and by being the best of knowing who you are and what your own currency is, meaning what your metrics are for moving forward. Be aware of others' cues and beacons. And this leads to achieving in technology. This is a women in engineering, but it can be anything in engineering where you are failing to blend in and be the most average person. I remember as a small child, not really a small child, but as a teen, I would literally pray to be average and to blend. And this is a great way to be successful in high school or secondary school, is to blend in and not be noticed. But that is not the way for professional success in our career development life. So the other thing is to know what is changing and what isn't changing. So what are the rules of the game and what rules are changing, and how you can not just lift your own boat, but lift other people's boat and be part of that rising tide. And so I only have 3 minutes left. All right, so one thing that we have a theory of, and the past speakers talk about the systems view, is a little bit related to this, is that there's a thinking, a short-term thinking of real merit. That is, in our professions, we only judge on the real merit, like what's really important. And this is the one great thing about us, is that we only care about real merit, or real profit. And these things this is a it's a fallacy. It's a belief that people have, and it causes them to make decisions, but it often causes them to make the wrong decisions. I'll mention again that in technical fields, many of us fail to blend in, and it might be because you're a woman, it might be because of your heritage, it might be because you're younger or older, and it might be because of your country and origin. And for some of us, there's some very common, but I would say very bad advice, which is it's just the soft skills that are important. And that's where you are strong. And that's what you should emphasize. And so that is the opposite of what I would say is to map your way in career development, which is a great title for your Congress. I'm down to 2 minutes. So instead of seeing soft skills soft skills generalization about someone being stronger in soft skills, particularly for gender, do a lot more harm than good. And it leads to people questioning credentials. It leads to a need for approval. It leads to a failure to negotiate. It leads to taking on the wrong assignments, and it impacts how we communicate in a negative way. And so I'm going to skip this because I'm down to less than 2 minutes. So I advocate very strongly that you empower yourself with hard skills. And you relate, yes, soft skills are important, but when you have the underlying hard skills and you direct your hard skills towards advancing the soft skills. So good reasons to advance your technical knowledge, your skills, your abilities. You want to improve your hard credentials. You want to increase your abilities, your confidence, and your reputation. You want professional advancement and relevance. You want to stay current. You want to be in demand, and you want to be valued. You want to advance the field itself for the sake of knowledge, for the greater good, and for your own empowerment. You want to be connecting to, working with, competing against the best and the brightest. You want to own your own development, take a systems view of your own development, and prioritize your own value and what value you bring to the organization and to others through your work. Professional awareness is also a leadership skill. So you learn how to learn and how to seek opportunities to learn and to keep learning. So again, you're improving your abilities by improving your hard credentials, and that in and of itself, technical advancement by improving your leadership skills with yourself and then applying them to others, technical advancements will take leadership. So activities like taking technical lead on a project, publishing a technical paper, getting an advanced degree, advancing technical knowledge in an emerging technical field. So connecting to, working with, competing against the best of the brides is an overall goal that you want to strive for the betterment, to advance technology for humanity, but also advancing technology for yourself. So some enjoyable examples of leadership that I've experienced that, oh, I'm out of time. I will finish up. So career development mapping, it's essential, but to navigate this, you should set your bar externally rather than internally. So that means looking for role models, analyzing how their journey, how they did their journey, and how they are aspirational. Your society, PES, AESS, SPS, all these societies are a good place to find these mentors. You want to strive to be an expert on the metrics, find what's required to have superior attainment at whatever your aspirant job and your aspirant places are, your aspirant projects. You want to continue to develop yourself as if you expect you want to change from the position you're in to another one in another organization 2 years from now. That's about the time frame that you want to look at. And so you want to target widely recognizable and confidence boosting additions as you upskill, not things that are only recognized by your neighbor or somebody that you've already been working with and in position that you already have. So getting a license, a certification, a standard, entering a competition, completing hours, giving a talk. And so thank you very much, and I'm out of time.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful talk. I believe students and young professionals will learn so much from this session, and they will get help to leadership and technical advancement from this session. Now, I would like to request participants to turn on their camera for some quick photos. I would like to request all the participants. Please kindly turn on your cameras. Okay. Okay. I will be taking photos on count 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, great photos taken. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am. Now moving forward to for another talk of today's session, ignorance towards SDG, how to align your career to enhance the impact on the surroundings, which will be facilitated by Bisma Noshat, student liaison, IEEE PES young professionals. A participant will learn to align their career to enhance the impact on the surroundings from this talk. Ma'am, the session is yours now.
Thank you very much, Sakib. Everyone, welcome, first of all, from my side. And I hope you're having a great, knowledgeable transfer. And I was really enjoying the talk of Kathleen Kramer and other speakers. And it was very good to listen about how you can improve your career from PES within your particular domain. But there was one thing that actually I wanted to talk about today, and that is the ignorance that you see in your campus, in your daily life, in your surrounding. I want to ask, do we have Sakib, I wanted someone to share the image, the picture, please, of the SDGs. That is there someone who doesn't know about the SDG 2030?
Okay.
Are there people in the audience who do not know?
Dr. Fatah had it on one of his slides.
Okay.
I need to.
I guess I asked Tabil Ahmed, but it's okay. I can just carry on. So
Sorry,
I believe
don't have
most of you,
actually.
no problem. So I believe most of you know about the SDG 2030. These are actually the goals organized or implemented by the United Nations that we have to achieve until the year 2030. These are the goals which go from poverty to gender equality to education, to have a better energy sector, to have a better life, to better environment on sea as well as in the land, and how we can improve it. That is the main challenge. And why I wanted to talk about is because we never study how to actually tackle ignorance. Right now, I was listening that people, I mean, all of the other esteemed speakers, they were talking about how PES can improve you. But do we actually think about how we can help the world? And what are the problems that we are facing currently in the world that are just there because of the ignorance? And I will just give an example. If there is a war going on and the children are dying because of it, what is the reason behind it? Is it poverty? Is it lack of resources? Or is it mismanagement of resources? So these are the things that young minds like us, especially the engineers, because we are the designers of the future, whatever technology will be coming in the future, they will be designed by one of us or by our peers. So this is something that we have to think about, that how just because we are ignoring certain parts of our lives, we are not able to have an impact on it. And apart from that, I would like to talk about, even though we are engineers, in the future, we will be going towards the policy side. If we go on higher stages, we can see that most of the leaders of IEEE PES or within IEEE governance board, they are there to design the policies. So how do we design the policies if until now in the bachelor's as well as in the master's side, we do not know what are the basics about it, or what are the things that we have to consider while developing the policy? So this is why ignorance comes into play, that we have to be very realistic and aware about our surroundings and what our impacts are and how we can improve it so that our policies can shape the future. It can also go in the politics of the economy of the government, and how we can actually take over the authoritarian people, the people who are only there to dictate others, who want things to be run in a certain way and they do not accept other ideas. I have received a lot of like, we all know that even within IEEE, the young minds sometimes they find it hard to go to make their ideas come into reality because of the people who are there to make the policies, who are in the governing board, who do not understand the impact of their ideas, one of which can be IEEE PES Day, which was our idea. Tiago, Alinker, and I, and other people from Pakistan, we designed the whole idea of PES Day. But it was only because of Tiago that we were able to implement it. And now IEEE PES Day is being celebrated in more than 50 countries worldwide. So I will just say that to always be aware of your surroundings, and if you feel that there is something that you can change, that you must change, and never be scared of the challenges. And yeah, we are the drivers of the future. So best of luck. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful talks. I believe student and young professionals learns from your session to align their career to enhance the impact on the surroundings. Now we will move forward. Now comes the session, professional engineering ethics, which will be facilitated by Dr. M. 𝗠𝗖𝗗𝗣𝗔𝗖, Chair, IEEE Young Professional Bangladesh and Associate Professor of American International University of Bangladesh. From this talk, we are going to know about ethics in engineering sector. Sir, the floor is yours.
Okay, hello. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, so share my slides. Okay. You can see my slides. Yeah.
Yes,
so I mean, we are all talking about the similar things from Pakistan to everyone. We are talking about the SDG. I will be focusing on the similar thing, but from a little bit different perspective. I'll be talking about the engineering ethics, professional ethics, and specifically the social and environmental part of it. And this is a great, one of my favorite movie is Spider-Man, and I have taken the quote from there: with great power comes the great responsibility. And actually, we sometimes think we don't have power, but our power from academic perspective, from the students and everyone, have in their own positions have got their powers. And one of the greatest power is the knowledge. And we have, once we have the knowledge, it becomes our automatic responsibility. So engineer social responsibility and engineer project should embrace the following obligations to obviously the health and safety, assess the impacts, moral competence, accountability, and display due attributes to the professionalism. And we other normal activities and everything, we being in a social environment, we have to look after each other, and I believe it's a cycle. If we do harm, it comes back to us. So when we talk about environmental, it's not only human-centered, sentient-centered, biocentric-centered, ecocentric-centered. Also, we have got religious perspective. Among them, one of the main part, sentient, biocentric, and ecocentric, are actually when we talk about the biomedic nature-centered ethics. So we also have got different theories about the ethics, right ethics, duty ethics, which we talk about different perspective. But we, even if we don't know about the human-centered ethics, one of the best one we know is the utilitarianism, which actually look after whatever we do at the end. If the results are good, it should be ethical, and other ethics that we have got duties, we have our rights, and we have self-realization. If we do something good, we should feel good about it as well. And we also need to look after nature, also biocentric, but best one I like is the ecocentric. Everything is in a balance. Whatever we do, it's an ecosystem, and we should look into the ecosystem. We should not just look in one perspective. The whole ecosystem should be looked after. Every engineering job project should be ecocentric, and every code of ethics and sustainable development like IEEE, NSP, SC, everyone focuses on the environmental part, the social part, and of course health and safety part. So I would request everyone, if we do not know, please look, go to their websites, especially IEEE website. We have got all the code of ethics we should learn, and we are all talking about the sustainability, and where we can actually manage the planet, people, and profit. As I'm talking about, it's a balance. Previously, engineers used to think about only the people, how they can benefit the society, but they also need to look after the economy as well, because if there is no economy, it won't be sustainable. And we also need to look after the planet, our planet. So 3 P's: planet, people, and profit. It always need to be balanced. It need to be centered, balanced. And whenever we talk about sustainable development, previously, historically, engineers used to think about, they just design something, but they are not, they should not be concerned about the environment. But it's not true anymore. Individual engineers differ considerably in their views, including their broader holistic views. But all engineers should reflect seriously on environmental values, how they can integrate in themselves into understanding and solving problems, looking after the environmental safety. We have got social responsibility. Individually, we should have our values, we should have our integrities, we should take part in charities, we should create collaborations, and we should follow honesty. And at the same time, these are individual. We also have got corporate social responsibility. If your company, or if you join any company, if you find they do not care about society, they do not care about environment, then I think you should seriously consider where you are. But most of the corporates, they have their social responsibility and they look after it. One other very important part, previously we used to think about work, income, housing as the considerable scales where we can say that we are developing. But actually those has been changed. Now we actually look after, like instead of work, we look safety, their way of life, their quality of life, instead of income. Are they happy? Are they? So the measurement, the scales are changing a lot as well. And engineer, ecology, and economics, 3 E's we are talking about. Engineers play a role in the whole bringing this ecology and economics together. And we have to look, previously we just used to know just our focused specialized subjects, but nowadays it's very essential to know about the economics, how you fit or your solution fit into the world, and how engineer can play into this system. And I won't increase too much. Ecology, we should be balancing with the economic. And one of the things I want to focus on is the instead of taking stuff from the nature, making it and using it and then dispose and pollute it, this is a leaky method. We should look into the loopy where we make it, use it, and we recycle it. And we also looking for environmental leadership. So first we need the commitment, then they need to get the expertise, and then we can have the leaders who actually lead us to the environmental projects and more initiatives from the environmental leaders. We're expecting, hope we can get it from the near future, from graduates and IEEE members. And governments nowadays in Bangladesh also taking initiatives for SDGs. And if you don't know, we are all talking about the SDGs. We have got sdg.gov.bd website. You should all check it out. I won't go to the, and my final talk would be COVID is coming back again, and it's in China, it's coming into India, it will be coming into our Bangladesh as well. But we should be aware that the COVID didn't caused in one day. Deforestation, illegal, poor, regulated wildlife, intensified agriculture, microbial resistance, and then climate change. Everything is giving the effect of COVID-19, and we should be aware that what we do, because it reflects back to us. We didn't forget the days of COVID-19, and it's coming back again. So I hope everyone stays safe, and thank you for me.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. I believe students will practice ethics in their professional career and will be motivated from your talks. And now I would like to move forward for the next talk, as we have time limits. So the next talk of today's session is Pathways of an Academic Career, Personal Experience, which will be facilitated by Dr. Jen, Vice Chair, IEEE Power and Energy Society, Young Professional, and Associate Professor at Technical University of Denmark, DTU. This talk is especially for the students who want to pursue their career in academic field. Sir, the floor is yours now.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, let me thank Albin's invitation, and I'm very delighted to attend this Congress to share some of my personal experience with these new colleagues here and young professionals. Can let me share the screen now? I think the last speaker is still sharing the screen. Okay. Okay, I think now you are seeing my screen. Okay. So my topic is the pathway to an academic career. Actually, these slides are from my interview in September. In July, when I applied this position at DTU. First of all, let me briefly introduce myself. I received my bachelor degree from China, the Northeast Electric Power University. I spent 4 years there to study this power system. And my university, from the name of my university, you can see that this is famous for the electric power system. After that, I successfully applied my MSc study program at Nanyang Technological University, Singapore, for 1 year. I studied there the power engineering and mostly on this power system analysis. And after that, I successfully applied this MyRecruit project, which is one of the best PhD training program in Europe. and I spent there 4 years to finish my PhD. The topic was about this offshore renewable energy, especially this wind energy, to use wind energy from offshore using the high voltage direct current, the so-called HVDC technology. And after that study, I applied this research associate. Actually, this is a postdoc position at Cardiff University to conduct this teaching and also research. After 4 years of study and working at DTU as this postdoc, I applied this associate professor position luckily, and I'm always saying I'm a lucky dog, in July, and I successfully received this offer and joined DTU from September this year. Currently, I'm an associate professor in power system protection and working on this offshore energy island in Denmark, which is using this HVDC to integrate this offshore wind energy and also to generate this hydrogen or these other power to X, power to heat, power to electricity, power to gas. This technology from this artificial energy island and also one energy island in this Bornholm island in Denmark to supply this electricity in Denmark to achieve this net zero emission. And my first question is that our power system is facing this energy transition, but if you want to carry on this academic career after you finish your PhD, you also need to face this transition from a student to a professor in the future. And how can we achieve this pathway? And what's the difference between you as a PhD student to a lecturer or a professor in the university? I think this is the answer, the track record. And the most important are the three factors. One is this research, and the other is your teaching experience, and also your administration and leadership. So if you attend this job interview, for example, in the UK, they will ask you to divide it by your time to 40% for research, 40% for teaching, and 20% for administration and leadership. Now I will give you this general idea how you present yourself if you get a job interview for an academic position. And not only for this UK, but also for other universities around the world. First of all, you need to give a whole picture and to let people know what you are doing, what are the challenges, and what are the opportunities for your research expertise. For example, which kind of fundings you can apply and which kind of problems you are going to solve during this energy transition to achieve net zero emission. So for example, myself, I have 3 research areas. One is this fault protection. The other is this operation and control of the power system. The last one is this photonics-based power system. And all these 3 areas is contributing to addressing this energy trilemma to achieve this sustainable development, to make this energy system to be more secure and to let the system more affordable and accessible. And for a specific research topic, for example, the fault protection, you need to present what you have done based on your previous research experience. For example, I have done this fault analysis and the fault protection for this HVDC-based DC grid to have this offshore renewable energy integration. And you also need to present that your academic outcome is very influential and your research is effective for these solving the real problem, real challenge in the power system. For example, one of the evidence is that you have very solid contribution to the scientific committee. The publication is one of the very solid improvement of your achievements. And also whether you have this collaboration with industry companies, did you solve real challenges from the real world? And the companies will give these opportunities to work with you to solve the real challenges. And your research outcome is used by these companies or these market players to solve these problems. For example, my work contributes to this HVDC national grid for this future HVDC grid construction. And also one of my research about this fault between the converter and the transformer contribute to solving a real problem with this Toshiba International Europe company. And this is a solution used in this real HVDC network in Japan, constructed by Toshiba. And also this national grid work is contributing to building up their confidence to have this HVDC grid in the future. So this is also a influence to the policymaker. They can use this resource to persuade these the governors and the people serving this country, saying, okay, we can have this technology in the future. And also I present my results not only in this conference, but workshops and also some competitions to maximize your dissemination of this research outcome to have a better influence in the world. And then you need to prove that you have this ability to attract research funding, not only from the research council from the country and also from these companies. For example, when I was a postdoc in the past years, I also applied some small grants to build up my research track record, saying I have the capability to write a research proposal, to collaborate with the industry companies, and to apply this project successfully. And this is part of my contribution. And also I have some experience to work with my lab manager and some other colleagues, especially some international large-scale international collaboration projects. For example, this Marie Curie project, which have more than 15 collaborators. And this year we also granted one Marie Curie project. Again, this is the third Marie Curie project. Actually, I'm the first one of my lab manager, and these are the two Marie Curie projects I have writing this proposal with him. And also for myself, I apply this fellowship program. There are kinds of fellowship programs in different countries. Even though I didn't get it, but I reached to the third stage of this application process. And in the UK, all the subjects, there are only 20 successful candidates. So it's highly competitive, but I reached to the third stage. It also proves my ability. And also have this project management experience as this project manager and also the co-principal investigator. And in the past years, I also built up my links and collaboration with the companies. For example, the companies in the UK and also some companies in China. I also have this international collaboration with some colleagues overseas universities and also in China. I have this joint PhD student supervision. I have this joint publication with them. So this is a link, because during the interview, people may ask you if you have this collaboration with some other companies and the researchers in the world, you should not only publish research papers with your supervisor. So this collaboration is also very important. And also you need to give a clear picture of your future research, a vision, what you are going to do during this energy transition, during achieving this net zero emission, which specific research topic you are going to do for 5 years term, for 10 years term. So you need to give a clear vision, which kind of research, and you need to specific research topic for this academic position. And also you need to show you how this teaching experience, because teaching is also a very important aspect when you are becoming a faculty. You know, you need to teach from the undergraduate level to master's level. So you need to have some solid improvement of your teaching experience. And also during this lockdown, you also need to prove that you have this online teaching experience. In the UK, they call it blended teaching. So you need to know how to use this teaching softwares for online teaching. So this is another very important aspect. And also teaching is also teaching your research students. You have this experience to supervise your juniors with your lab manager, with your supervisor, MSc student, and also PhD student. You should have this joint publication with them. They may also have some awards during their PhD and study. And also you need to build up your reputation and to participate in your group management, your school management, and also participate at this HVDC or some other scientific committees to maximize your reputation, to build up your leadership, and to contribute to this scientific committee. You also have this experience building up this network and also to promote this equality, diversity, and inclusion. And in this way, you can build up your research expertise and also this reputation in this scientific committee. And that's all my experience. Thank you for your time, and hope how this very wonderful Christmas holidays and also the New Year. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It's very motivating. I believe your talk will be helpful and will help and motivate students to pursue career in academia. Now moving forward for our another talk of today's session, IEEE resources for successful career, which will be facilitated by Dr. Thomas Kafle, IEEE Fellow and 2023 IEEE President-elect, past President IEEE USA, and past Director IEEE Regions. Participant will know about resources of IEEE to build a successful career from this talk. Sir, the floor is yours now.
Thank you very much to Bill, and but just enjoyed the talk by Jen Lee also. So let's see, can you see this okay?
Yes, sir.
And you can hear me okay, right?
Yes.
Great, thanks. So so I'm Tom Coughlin, and Jen Lee spoke about doing things in industry or doing things in academia. And just to let you know, I'll be talking a little about doing things in industry, and IEEE resources, essentially, it can help you to be successful in your career. So IEEE, just like your family and home, can provide you with companionship, connection, and encouragement, and satisfy many of your personal needs. A professional home can help you stay on track in your career, and IEEE could be that professional home. It's the largest professional technical organization in the world. It can provide you with valuable resources to keep up to date in your field, to learn new information and skills, publicize your expertise, connect with others in your field, find career opportunities, protect your livelihood, and satisfy your need to give back and contribute to those in need. So making the most of the career-oriented resources within IEEE requires that you know about them and are able to use them to your advantage. And so this talk, I'm going to explore some ideas how to leverage your IEEE membership to promote and enrich your career, with some comments on my personal IEEE experience. So careers are changing rapidly. We have a very cross-disciplinary world today. Technologists can and will move from industry to industry. And agility in a career limits loyalty to a single employer, and changes in technology require lifelong learning. So the value of core skill sets also are changing, the things that make you valuable to an employer. And you need to learn soft skills, that is, ways of working with people, as well as technology to maximize your career. And as you develop, you're going to need to become broad, that is, knowing a little bit about a lot of stuff, as well as deep, knowing something in depth on a particular area. And being part of a professional engineering organization may also help you in terms of what people think of you, and help you to be more employable, perhaps even leading to higher pay. So IEEE is a unifying organization, as I see it. It supports the individual throughout their career. You are responsible for your own IEEE career development. IEEE can help you with that. IEEE addresses career development in an increasingly uncertain future. We have training, webinars, ebooks, magazines, proceedings, conferences, committees like Jen Lee spoke about, other resources to help you keep up to date in your field. We're also involved in one of the largest standards organizations. End-to-end career support will grow IEEE membership, I believe, and add value to our members. And IEEE can help you develop your personal career support team by being part of a community of similar interests who can help you when you need it. And that's important because life is what happens to you while you're making other plans. So if you look at your career development, kind of like a new startup through developing into a mature business, and IEEE has resources, try engineering to get people who are in high school, for instance, or earlier interested in engineering. I'm involved in the Rising Stars Conference, which will be early next month in Las Vegas for students and young professionals. As you get into working in your career, if you're also a volunteer, IEEE has programs like Volt that can help you volunteer leadership training, help you learn about being a volunteer. We also then have webinars, ebooks, conferences, publications, standards, various other things that you can be involved in your career. And once you've accomplished things, you can think about giving back on mentorship and helping other people, basically being part of this technical community. So, and IEEE has opportunities to help you with career in many ways. Academics and researchers generally just went through a number of these things. Conferences and publications are important. Societies and councils, people are involved in that like he is. Local section and chapter meetings, I think, are important overall. That's where most people get their biggest connection to the IEEE. And it's true also for technologists. Resources there, some IEEE magazines and conferences, IEEE standards against societies and councils, local section and chapter meetings again. And for people working in government, some IEEE standards, publications, conferences, societies and councils, again, local section and chapter meetings, because that's where you have the most frequent potential interactions with folks in your local community. And there's other opportunities that span across these various careers. So some of these things that I'm going to go into a little bit here, IEEE volunteering can teach you valuable skills, can be useful in your career. There's also career development tools and classes, resources to learn soft skills. IEEE has job listings and job services. There's an entrepreneurship program, a consultants network that I've been involved in. Discount programs, opportunities to speak about your expertise and write about your own expertise. I'm going to talk a bit about that in my own experience. Opportunities to network with others at the section, region, or international level. So let's look at these opportunities. So being an IEEE volunteer can show your coworkers and your bosses your commitment to your career. It can also help you learn important lessons on how to work with other people that go beyond the technical skills that you've learned in school. The people skills you learn as an IEEE volunteer can also serve you in your daily life. For instance, you can explain your ideas better to others and learn how to listen to others better in order to work with them to decide upon and implement agreed upon goals. And if you ever go into a management role, being an IEEE volunteer leader can be a useful addition to your resume and give you valuable experience that can help you in your career. So there's various resources. If you get involved as an IEEE volunteer, the Center for Leadership Excellence has a description of various volunteer positions and roles and responsibilities. Also, the Volunteer Leadership Training Program, VOLT. Your section officer or somebody in the region could nominate you for that once you've been a volunteer and help you to learn more about different parts of IEEE. There also is, in terms of continuing education, the Educational Activities Board within IEEE has this IEEE Learning Network where there's a lot of continuing education courses in IEEE. There are also recent academics, which are intensive short courses on some particular technologies that are starting to become available as well. I've been involved in IEEE USA. I was the president in 2019. There's some resources there that are available not just to people in the United States. Anyone could subscribe to the Insight e-magazine. They also have ebooks that are free for all IEEE members worldwide on a lot of different topics. And they have these regular webinars, which I think any IEEE member could sign up to hear about it. Here's some in 2022. And also the early part of next year on various topics, soft skills, leadership, and even personal finances that might be of interest. There's an IEEE job site that has over 13,000 unique visitors per month, over 45,000 page views per month, gets views from all over the world. It could be another resource for your career. IEEE entrepreneurship, if you're into running your own business, starting something up, as I did, this could be of interest to you. And sometimes there's some very interesting offers that are available to some companies to help startups to get going. If you become more experienced in your career in technical talents, another option is to become a consultant. I've been consulting now for over 20 years. I was the chair at the end of this month of the IEEE Consultants Network of Silicon Valley. They have a website. This is my page on that website. And that can be, that's been useful for me. And in addition to this, they also have regular interesting meetings on a variety of topics. IEEE has discounts because it's a large organization. Some of these I think are available, many of these I think are available outside the US as well as in the US, but they may be useful, particularly if you do run your own business. An important thing in general that I want to get out is the idea, whether you work for yourself, run your company, or work as an employee for others, you need to find ways to stand out. Finding ways that people identify you and your abilities is often called branding. And you need to create your own brand. And that requires letting other people know what you do and that you're good at what you do. And this gets into some of my own personal things that I've been doing, especially as a consultant the last few years, public speaking is important for people to find out what you know. Try to develop talks on various topics that relate to things you know and provide insights and information that would be of interest to others. Local IEEE society and council chapters are often looking for people to speak on relevant topics. It is a way for you to start out at a local level. If you become an expert on a topic, you may be able to be a distinguished lecturer on that topic for an IEEE society or council. I did this for several years with what's now the Consumer Technology Society. There are many other opportunities for IEEE to give talks on various topics or activities, and there may be webinar or podcast opportunities in your field that you can participate in, both inside and outside of IEEE. Consider, for instance, and if you want to learn more on public speaking, consider joining Toastmasters or something like that, which can help you develop your skills as a public speaker. I did that for several years, and I think that did make a difference for me. In addition to public speaking, writing is another important skill to get your ideas across to others and increase your visibility and brand. You may write papers for journals or practical pieces for magazines. You might even try your hand at writing a book like I did on this book on digital storage and consumer electronics. There are many opportunities to write blogs for various websites or magazines, again, both inside and outside of IEEE. Find ways to improve your writing and speaking skills, and that's going to help you further your career as well. Finally, one of these most important things is networking. Working with others, networking can lead to lasting professional relationships that can lead to future jobs and increase your brand. IEEE offers a lot of opportunities to network with others, such as local chapter meetings, conferences, webinars. And this has been one of the biggest benefits to me of being an IEEE member, because I've met a number of folks who have helped me be aware of new developments, work opportunities, and things that just were generally interesting. So in conclusion, as you gain in experience and abilities and you become the expert, consider being a mentor for others to provide guidance and suggestions that may help them in their careers. A professional home should be a place where people can share their experiences and observations, and where members can go to ask for advice and feedback. Being engaged with the IEEE gives you an opportunity to be involved with activities that create wealth, new opportunities, and make a real difference. Be sure to help the next generation of technologists to achieve even more amazing technology for the benefit of humanity. And with that, I want to thank you folks, and I appreciate the chance to come and talk to you today.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a very informative session. I believe this will help students and young professionals a lot. And now I would like to request all the participants to turn on their camera for some quick photos.
Oh.
I'm here, chapter representative. From this talk, we are going to know about how to do continuous professional development from her. Ma'am, the floor is all yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your invitation and introduction. So now I will share my screen. Let me know, please, when you can see it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Today I'm going to talk to you about continuous professional development. What is this? How we can maintain it, and how we can ensure our professional development is on the right way. What is the continuous professional development? It's a commitment to ongoing lifelong learning. It ensures that both academic and practical qualification don't become outdated or obsolete, and allows for individuals to continually upskill or reskill themselves regarding of their occupation, age, and educational level. This is a theoretical definition of continuous professional development, but how we can ensure it in our practical and daily life. You have probably seen that nowadays in all vacancies, almost in all vacancies, we see that employers are required lifelong learning and interest in self-development. These are the main soft skills that is defining your continuous professional development. For example, imagine that you are in a work interview and HR is asking from you, are you a lifelong learner, or do you have interest in your self-development? How you can prove it to us? Of course, you can share your certificates, or you can tell that you regularly attend in webinars or workshops. But the main things in continuous professional development is what you have learned from all these webinars. The number of webinars or trainings that you attend, or a lot of certificates, this can be like your background documentation. But the most important is what you learn from all these webinars. What we can do in our practical daily life, or practically, to ensure that our development is ongoing in the right way. We can share or classify our daily activities in 4 main points and main learning objectives. The first one is work-based learning. This is basically related to your daily work life, where you gain new knowledge or something new that can be reflected on your experience. This can be related to your, let's say, role responsibilities. For example, you are having some role in a project, and during this project you have faced some problems, and how you solve this problem. This can be one of your daily learning. The other learning objective is professional activities. What do we mean by telling professional activities? These are the activities that is directly related to your background. For example, if you are an engineer, you have to always be up to date with the new legislations, new standards, health, safety, environmental, and quality issues related to your background. So you ensure that your knowledge is up to date. And also, when we are telling professional activities, we also take into account the mentoring of others and sharing your knowledge. Volunteering. It's the best continuous professional development activity. So while we are all contributing to IEEE activities or volunteering for professional organizations, this means that we are contributing to our professional development. So that's why IEEE is one of the best options, let's say, best of organizations that can support our leadership skills, support our networking and volunteering skills throughout our career development. The last one in our classification is self-directed learning. This can be reading books, doing research, publishing papers. It can be considered your self-directed learning. So we can classify all our activities in 4 main categories. For example, if in your daily life, today we are all attending in this congress, so we are all contributing to our professional like this. But how we can efficiently maintain our continuous professional development? For this one, we have to record all our activities that from which we learn new things. For this, we have a lot of free forms and tools on internet, especially on IEEE. But how we need to record our activities, and what is the important on recording our activities? The first thing, I mean, a lot of forms and tools are available on internet, but mainly they are all consisting of of shown here points. For example, today we attend here in Congress, and you need to put in your records that the date of your continuous professional development activity. So you put the date of today, you put the title of the activity and the method of learning. In our case, it's online Congress. Then you need to put the hours of continuous development. So how many hours you spend in this Congress, and the most important is overall learning outcome. What you learn from this Congress. Like this, you can define your future plan. And for example, today in this Congress, you have understood that you have some gap in your knowledge, or there is some points, subject that attracting you. So you can put in your future plan that in the next 3 months, I'm going to attend another sessions on this topic, for example, the one that you choose. And the most important here, when you define your future plan, you definitely you need to put a deadline. Otherwise, you will be always procrastinating this, and then this will not be efficient. So when you are defining future plan, it's better to put always to put a deadline. Like this, you can also identify your short and long-term goals. It's very good that we are now approaching the end of the year, and I'm very curious to know that how many of our attendees recorded their webinars or their activities that they attend this year. If you have recorded all this, you can put in the chat box that yes, you have recorded or something like this. Or if you have already clear plan for your next year, it's very good time to do this. So I encourage you to do this now. While we are recording our activities or classifying our activities, of course, we will have a clear future plan and also recording of our previous activities. Like this, we can, what will be our rewards then? It will give you a value. You can become a really good leader, and you will see that how you will grow professionally and personally. I mean, your soft skills and also technical, non-technical skills will be developing. And of course, like this, success will always follow you. Thank you very much for your attention. I believe that this Congress will be very beneficial to everyone and will be adding new points to your continuous professional development goals. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a very encouraging session. I believe this session will be effective for students and young professionals for continuous development. So we have an announcement. 𝗠𝗖𝗗𝗣𝗔𝗖 sir has some emergencies, so there is some schedule change in our schedule. Now I would like to request Albin sir to continue from here. He stopped. Sorry for the inconvenience, as he has some emergencies, so we have to change a little in our schedule. Sir, the floor is yours now.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think you can, my screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir. It's
Yes.
visible.
Okay. So first of all, I would like to congratulate the entire organizing team, and especially Tabel. He just proposed the idea, the title. From the title onwards, we can understand means how it contribute or how it will benefit to each participant. So I would like to congratulate the entire team for the Congress, and thank you for inviting me for this one. So I'm sure from this, from today, with every 10-minute talk, you will be gaining more knowledge. It's cover where various field or various domain that you as a young professional or as a final student we need to know more about. So I would like to share something more about IEEE PES young professional, and from the beginning onwards I am hearing from the eminent speakers and the eminent leaders in IEEE. So I would like to share more what we provide. We means the IEEE PES and professional provide to you, and how it's helpful for you. So within this short time, so I would not like to describe more on IEEE PES. So these details that I was downloaded or sharing from the PES YP page, so you can check it after the summit, after the Congress. So this is our team structure, and then various opportunities. So I would like to share what we did done in last 2 years, or especially in last 1 year. So from that you can understand, okay, how it will be benefited to you. So, and it definitely, it's a huge platform, and it's the what we can learn is based on our interest, and as the individual perspective, what you need to what you need from IEEE for your growth. So I will share few details about the activities that we were organized in last year. So it has a diverse structure as a young professional body. We have a team structure. It's contain various technical committee, committee and professional development and educational activities and membership development activity, industry outreach, and even conference activity like that. And we were also get connected as a IEEE and professional. We have to focus more on the all around the globe. So we have the regional representative for the United States and Canada, Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Asia Pacific, and the Latin America also. So in this year, we were organized various industrial visits to the leading company, especially in the power and energy field. And also we organized various these STEP programs, student a transitional elevation programs. These programs were they Bisma, one of our speaker, she is the coordinator for that activity. So we were organized various programs that how to gain this scholarship and how to apply for various scholarships like that. And we have a series of educational talk and webinars. So all these details are available in PES YP YouTube and the Facebook. So in our each committee is designed to meet the requirement or the skills that required for a young professional. So we were organizing the humanitarian event. From our first speaker, we heard as a young professional what we need to as a young professional, how can we contribute to this society. So we are also organizing the series of talk show, and to upskill our technical skill, we have the Power Tech newsletter. So if you are not subscribed to it, we will share the details after the Congress. So it will be sharing more technical content, something related to the electrical vehicle and certain other things. So then we have our flagship program, Powering the Future Summit. The first edition was done on 2021 and second on 2022. So that will in last summit it will contain the participants 250 summit delegates from 32 countries. So it's a huge opportunity for every participants to get more knowledge about So the all speakers are they're eminent speakers from various technical domain, and we organize. It's the entire summit. It's helped to upskill the young professionals and get training from the top industry, and also it's build a network, because we can interact with the similar technical skill person or similar interest person, all the networking opportunity that we were providing through this. And the various other initiatives, this She for Her mentoring program and Women in Power talk show. And also in last year, we introduced the PES YP Ignition funding program as a section level. The PES chapter can apply for the funding, which and from this funding, the PES chapter can organize the event, which will be focusing the membership development activities for the young professionals in the in your section. So these are the various activities that we were conducted, and as part of the summit, we were organized the regional summit. So in the coming section, the Harun, our regional representative for Asia Pacific region, he will share more details about the summit, that he was the chair of that summit. So in 2022 that we were celebrated the 25th anniversary of IEEE YP, so we were also part of the team. Like from the from the screen, you can see the happy faces of our entire team. So like that, when we step into the young professional or this type group in IEEE, it will help us to get connected with the people and get mentored and that's a huge opportunity for the every members to learn and upskill. So I was little basic, so that's why I just cover it in a this very speed way. So if you have any doubt, I know it's not a technical one, so not a professional development, just an introduction of IEEE PES YP. So after the congress, the other speakers, all the eminent speakers in IEEE, they will share more about their professional work, than their technical knowledge, and in the second section also they will share there is some workshop. So if you have any doubt or anything, if you are interested to part of the PES YP for the next year, you can contact us. We will have a team call or team for volunteers within the coming month or in the 2-3 weeks. So thank you very much for the thank you very much the entire team for inviting me, and thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a very informative session. I believe IEEE student members and young professionals will utilize and take advantage of the opportunities which is available at IEEE PES YP. Now I would like to move forward. Now moving forward for another talk of today's session. Ins and outs of organizing and technical event at the student level, which will be facilitated by 𝗠𝗖𝗗𝗣𝗔𝗖 Mariam, General Chair in Vision 2022, Executive Advisor IEEE NET NEE and winner of International IEEE WE Funding 2021. This talk is essential for the students who want to organize outstanding events at their university level. Ma'am, the floor is yours now.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, I think I should share my screen with you. Give me a sec. I think as the topic might indicate that this is not a professionally technical talk. The reason that I wanted to become a part of the Congress was a lot of us get a lot of technical knowledge from people who have experience that is far more than ours. But as students, it's very hard to intake, and be selective about what we should be focusing on. For instance, being at a level when I wasn't aware of what IEEE was or how it worked, I used to think, this isn't that important because my understanding of how the industry works was mostly related to my tech stack or the projects that I was working on. But after a certain period of time and interacting with a few seniors of mine, I got to know about what, IEEE was as an organization that has been doing wonderful work for the past couple of years, I think more than 30 years. And that is when my journey as a part of IEEE Student Run started. So a bit of an introduction. I am from Pakistan. I'm currently studying computer information systems engineering, finally in my senior year. So I've been working on a lot of different projects related to machine learning and artificial intelligence. I would definitely be majoring in business analytics. Currently, I am working as IEEE Student Runs Executive Advisor, and I have been, working extensively with the whole body for the past 2 years. Moving forward with the, main topic that I want to talk about. As students, a lot of us, as this Congress has been arranged so wonderfully thankfully, this is a hybrid program where, all of us met remotely and decided that, it's time that we talk about events that could potentially help the students. Most of the time, we do not even get the opportunity to interact with individuals or people who have gained such extensive experience. We usually have the internet to our support, but that one-on-one interaction that we lack in today's age and time when everything is so fast-paced. That is where physical events come in. With the outbreak of COVID and everything that was in between, we shifted to hybrid, and now everybody is moving back to physical events. And that is when the whole planning phase comes in. As a student, you might be daunted by the fact that I'm just a student. How would I approach companies or tech startups, or as this is an event related to PES, how am I going to approach companies that are working on energy crisis or something that we can bring to our universities? It depends on 5 major factors. That is how active your team is, how supportive your faculty is, and how well thought out of a plan that you have, the marketing tactics that you're going to be using, and the fundings that you're going to be getting. Every one of this factor is extremely important when you want to have a successful event at your university. As a student, when I started out the past year, we planned to have a flagship event with the name of Envision 21. Since we did not have any expertise in marketing or writing proposals and stuff, so we lacked in that aspect. We tried to reach out a lot of companies, but they wanted something else from us. You obviously have to emphasize on the thing that you are going to give out to the companies, the benefit that the students are going to be gaining. Otherwise, there would be no point of having an event or no point of having a funding. So first of all, the key to having a successful event is your team. Is the team active? Is the team supportive of the initiative that you're taking? Is the team enjoying what you're trying to put out? Because if the team is not on the same page as you, no event can be successful. We cannot we cannot gather in one place. There would be no initiative. So the main point, or the main crux of this factor is get individuals who are as enthusiastic about the cause as you are. IEEE is such a big platform. Coming in, interacting with individuals who have been working in the industry for so many years, building your connections, building network, interacting with the company executives, C-level executives. Such type of opportunities are only provided when the executive body or the students take initiatives, and that can only be done when you have a platform, and IEEE is that platform. The next factor is faculty. In any university, without the support of the faculty, it would be completely impossible to host an event. For instance, if you're in a university where the faculty isn't even aware about what IEEE is, you tell them, basically. You dig, you search, you use the internet, you tell them how supportive the community here is, and bring IEEE to your own university. Be the starter. Be the person who is, the founding member. Then a well thought out plan. And what is that plan? It's basically an initiary, the A to Z of any event. You need to jot down every single point, every single thing that you are going to be having in that event. For instance, from the sessions to the teams to the recruitment drives, the career fair, whatever, A to Z, you need to jot it down and have a proper understanding of when which thing is going to happen. Then the marketing. No event can be successful without successfully putting out pamphlets or posters or pamphlets or social media campaigns. For instance, if we are gathered here, I wouldn't have known about it if I wouldn't have seen it on the on Facebook. I wouldn't have reached out, so nobody would have reached out to me otherwise. It can only happen if you have effective social media marketing campaigns, and if you do do the marketing on university premises too. So both of these play an equally important part. But since we're talking about physical events, try to focus your, or gauge your attention towards the students. Try to understand what is it that they're missing? What is it that they want to, see in their university life, experience in their university life? Who are the type of people that they want to connect with, and bring those in? And lastly, and the most important factor without which no event can be possible in literal meaning, and that is the funding. How are you going to raise funds? How are you going to get the money? to execute anything, to get the vendors, pay them. Last year, we applied for an IEEE funding. I was the acting chair of IEEE as well. So we won, I think, around $400. IEEE is such a, a vast, it has a vast network. It has something for like every single person. If we are gathered here for PES, there would be, I think, around 2 to 3 fundings that would be available on the IEEE PES global website. And what you can do is make a proposal and apply. In literal sense, just make a proposal, jot down everything, make a plan, what's the initiative, and make a proposal and apply to the funding. And if, for instance, you are the same frequency and this, at the same level as, for instance, the event is of the same caliber as the funding, you're going to get it. Half of the times, most of the students do not apply because they think, this is a lot of money and they wouldn't be giving out to us because we are just students and this and that. And I've seen it happen all the time. And for that, I'd say, yeah, just go for it. At least I think that there is no harm in applying for a single, funding. So success. We recently executed an event with the name of Envision 21. We hosted around 1,800 plus individuals on team, faculty support, sponsor support, and that is where your funding comes in. If you do not get the right funding, you can go out and ask sponsorships from companies. In our case, we went to tech companies. And after that, get media houses on board, connect with them, simply go go to LinkedIn and send out a request, or see if you have certain connections, your mutuals there, they can connect. Apart from that, I think the one thing that I wanted to show was that a lot of students do not have, understanding of how do you make a proposal. A very brief interview, like a very brief overview of what a proposal looks like. This was ours from the past year. This got us a funding of around 14 to 16 lakhs. I'm talking PKR. I'm not sure how it is in US dollars. So you tell about what the event is, what the event is in literal terms, the details of the competitions that you're going to be having, or whatever the event is about, that can be customized. Do include past glimpses of events, because if you do not include these, sometimes it seems as you are posting a hoax. So it's very important you have pictures to prove that this is an actual event. What's your target audience? Very important. Is it the students? Is it the startups? Is it the industry? Who is it? Identify. And what are the incentives for the sponsors? And then you can add, there are different types of sponsors, like logistics, printing, media, travel, anything that you can think of. I'll have to spend money on this, I'll have to spend money on that. That means that is going to require a sponsor. You need money for that. And lastly, having banners and hoardings, and do include your contact information. So I think that is all. I had a very small time to prepare, didn't have much of it. And thank you so much to the team for inviting me. My email address is there if you need any info regarding any sort. And Happy New Year. Thank you so much.
Happy New Year, ma'am. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. It was a very informative session. I believe this will be helpful for the students who want to organize out studying universities. Thank you so much. Now moving forward for our another talk of today. Before that, we'd like to request quick photos. For some quick photos, please kindly. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, on count 3, I will be taking photos. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, photos taken. Thank you, everyone. Now moving forward for another talk of today's session, getting started with a research-based career, how to write effective abstract for research, which will be facilitated by 𝗠𝗖𝗗𝗣𝗔𝗖 Apu, Research Assistant, Pioneer Alpha, Instructor, Codas Trust, Bangladesh. And now before the session, I would like to share a memes related to research like that. Like when we were in our freshman years, many of us wanted to do research and want to show up like that. You know, I am something of a scientist myself. Okay, sorry for now, jokes apart, we will move forward for our session. Apu, the floor is yours now.
Okay, I think I'm clearly audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, first, I just want to ensure you that first 2 to 4 minutes, I will just talk about how to getting started with a research-based career and my journey, or you can say why you will feel encouraged for research-based career, and then I will share my slide and I will tell you how to write an effective abstract for your research paper. Okay, at first, I just want to tell you that there are a lot of scholarly person in front of me today. I don't know how much I will be able to deliver, but I will try my better. Yes, okay. Thank you the organizing committee for arranging such a tremendous program today. And hello everyone, I am 𝗠𝗖𝗗𝗣𝗔𝗖 and I'm from Bangladesh. Recently, I completed my graduation from Chittagong University of Engineering and Technology by July 2022. And my major was electronics and telecommunication engineering. Now I am working with the Pioneer Alpha, which was a startup company as a research assistant and a course instructor. And I'm also working with Better Future for Women as a course instructor and e-learning consultant. From the second year of my undergrad life, I felt much enthusiasm for research, and I published my very first research paper when I was in second year. Unconsciously, I started this journey, and I didn't have the idea of proper significance of the research paper writing, and how much it will value for my future at that time. In that case, I would like to recall my supervisor and advisor, sir, Dr. 𝗠𝗖𝗗𝗣𝗔𝗖 sir, who always encouraged me for the research. And he always used to tell me that it can bring some value for you. You must continue it. So now the truth is I want to become a researcher and want to be involved in academic side. My teeny experience of saying that it's not such an it's a noble profession, but also it's such a prestigious and esteemed field. So it needs that much guts and passions. It always enhances person's resonance skill. Research is always attached to innovation, or if it is not innovation, then it will bring some various experimental evaluation. Okay, so as engineering profession is connected to technology, that means as a researcher, you are leading the world. You can bring some revolutionary changes for the world. Okay, so today I will talk about an important section of research paper, and that is abstract. Let me tell you that the first wrong conception who's writing this for the first time or starting this, that's abstract is summary. or summary of this, your methodology? Actually, no. Then we forget that it's a short part. You can elaborate it that much. Okay. We must affirm that you need to add the problem statement of that particular research, which is extensively missed by us. Then we should not put any unnecessary topic there. Okay. So what are the important parts of abstract? So I just want to share the slides. The slide is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay. How to write an effective abstract for your research paper. Actually, abstract is really important for your research paper, title and abstract, because that's the first thing which will be observed by the reviewer or the viewer, you can say. So there are 5 different parts of abstract. First of all, background theme, or we can say background. The second is problem statement or the objective. Then the methodology for its results, and the lastly, conclusion. Okay. Let me explain all those things. What's background? Background of the research, you have to write the background of your research, but talk about the specific area of which you are performing your research. Give some idea about that. Then the problem statement and objective. It's really, really, really important and the vital part. Most of us just miss this part and write other parts here. So what's your actual objective? What you want to include, or what your contribution is here, or simply the problem statement. What is the problem and which problem you're solving here? What is your actual intention? You need to include that. Then it's methodology, or you can say simply method. Shortly describe your method which you proposed in your paper or your research. Must be very concise. It must be very concise. You can elaborate it like the main part. Just write it shortly. Then the result section. Clarify the outcome which you found and what about the accuracy you obtained from your research and other tests or evaluation or different analysis. Okay. Then lastly is conclusion. You must conclude your overall research. Just 1 to 2 lines. Just add here the conclusion. How it is paramount for this. This will contribute to the society or to the environment or to the planet or to the biomedical. How you're contributing is just use this conclusion word. Okay. So lastly, we can conclude that abstract is our 150 to 300 words paragraph, and then it's not a summary of your methodology. This must be well composed, this must be specific and clear, and must be well written. Okay. So that's all about me from my side, and thank you all.
Thank you so much. It was a very informative session. I believe student will be it will be helpful for students very much. So now I would like to request country lead IEEE and professionals Tabila Ahmed Bhaiya for concluding remarks.
Yes, thank you, Sakib, being a wonderful MC and conducting the whole event smoothly. Especially thank to so much to all speakers delivering their great speech. Thomas Coffin sir, Dr. Sheikh Fatah sir, Kathleen Kramer ma'am, Dr. Imtansir Ali sir, Bisman Orshad, Jane Lee, Alvin Pal, Ainur Mahmuda, Anjana Bishas, Juliana Maria, and Romaisa. And I hope all participants learn from them and use it their career development. And also mention our all organizer, IEEE Stanford University Student Branch, IEEE PES IIUC Student Branch Chapter, IEEE Eastern University Student Branch, IEEE Young Professionals Bangladesh, IEEE East West University Student Branch, IEEE ULab Student Branch, and IEEE PES YP Student Branch chapter. Also, tomorrow we have another session which will be started at 6:45 Bangladesh time and 12:45 p.m. UTC time. Hope to see you all. Again, thank you everyone for joining today. Have a great night. Happy Christmas.
Thank you, everyone. Hope to see you all at day 2. Now, Assalamu alaikum and have a pleasant night. I'm ending this session here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll end the session for after a few minutes, as we will let the participants to fill up the attendance form. Okay, dear participants, attendance form is given in chat box. Please kindly fill up the attendance form.